He sees plays before they happen.
I haven't seen anything like him.
He just knows his game, I think.
He's fantastic. Great hands, scores in every which way, involves all his teammates. So, he's the head of the snake for sure. What makes this even scarier for the NBA is that Jokic isn't doing this alone. Denver's strong start has another engine. Jamal Murray is usually known for slow starts, needing time to warm up after each offseason, but this time around, he came in sharper, faster, and way more locked in. Murray has taken his share of criticism for injuries or inconsistent stretches, and a lot of that criticism was understandable. But right now, he's flipping that whole narrative, showing a version of himself that looks more polished, more controlled.
We're Jokic enough, and then that night he drops 55 on the Clippers, and right now he is 100% in the averaging a triple-double for the season, with shooting almost 62% from the floor. It's insane.
With the young guns and seasoned Denver vets, Jamal carried that fire straight into an impressive preseason and early season stretch that instantly turned heads. At 28 years old, the point guard looks fully recharged, and that spark is exactly what Denver needs to make another long push deep into June. This is Murray's fourth season removed from the torn ACL that stole 2 playoff runs from him just as he was stepping into his prime. And for the first time, he finally had a clean runway to prepare. In 2022, he was still grinding through rehab. In 2023, he was recovering from the championship run and that tight offseason. And in 2024, he dealt with lingering minor injuries while trying to get ready for the Paris Olympics. The 3 seasons that came after those rough summers show the pattern clear as day.
Damn good. It's not fair. And he's so funny. I love the guy. He doesn't look like he's doing anything. He's not going fast. He's not jumping high. It's kind of Larry Birdish, in a way. But talk about skills and anticipation and decisions. He's fantastic. Great hands. Scores in every which way, involves all his teammates. So, he's the head of the snake for sure.
In points, rebounds, and assists per game, showing a version of himself that feels stronger, smoother, and more confident than anything we've seen from him before. Murray is hitting his best percentage on 2s, launching more 3s than ever, and doing it all with sharp efficiency that shows real control. Nearly a decade into his NBA journey, he's become everything the Nuggets could have asked for and then some. He showed up to camp healthy, focused, and ready to work, stepping deeper into a leadership role while promising himself a true career year without taking months to play into shape, which had become a frustrating habit for him in the past. And for whatever reason this season, he's delivering from the jump, pushing out one of the strongest starts of his entire career.
Alexander, that is 21-1. The reigning MVP, the finals MVP, all that stuff. He just had one of the best 6-week stretches of his career. He did not win Western Conference Player of the Month, and I agree. I agree that it was Jokic.
I don't like choosing.
Because Jokic overcame that.
But this season, that version didn't wait for April. He walked in on day 1. Murray is leading Denver in fourth quarter scoring and posting wild 50-50-80 shooting splits in the final period, which is almost unheard of for a perimeter scorer. He's their closer, their most dangerous threat outside the arc, and one of the biggest reasons Denver is off to its strongest start in nearly 40 years. At 28, Murray might be the best player in the NBA who still hasn't made an all-star team. A rare and surprising label for someone with playoff moments as legendary as his. His regular seasons have been solid. His postseason performances have been spectacular. Yet the all-star recognition has always slipped away. But this year might finally be the one that flips that script, if he keeps hooping like this. And honestly, there's every reason to believe he can keep it rolling. He deserves real recognition. And the All-Star...
He's ridiculous. I felt like all of those shots felt like they was easy shots, and he just played a game at a pace that you can't speed him up, fluster him. He's strong. He can make every shot. I hate when he makes shots because he's so unorthodox, and it's like, oh yeah, that's a miss, and then it goes straight in.
And nothing wrong with holding your team. But this early season dominance is a new level, something we rarely saw in past Denver campaigns. And with Christian Braun already sidelined and Aaron Gordon now expected to miss the next few weeks, even more of the offensive load is shifting onto Jokic and Murray. If Murray keeps up this level of play while stacking wins for Denver, the calls for his long overdue first All-Star selection right beside his MVP teammate are only going to grow louder. And honestly, it's fully deserved. And the wild part is that Murray's impact goes way beyond the usual counting stats. According to Cleaning the Glass, he's creating more of his own offense than ever before. A career-high 66% of his buckets are unassisted, a big jump from his previous best of 58%. Even with that heavier on-ball load, he's thriving like he's back in a simpler role where everything flows naturally. The way he shifts speeds, pumps the brakes, and changes direction creates space, both sideways and vertically, letting him get clean pull-ups while slicing out angles defenders can't cover. He looks bouncy and fresh, the best he's looked in years. But now he's got almost a decade of experience to sharpen every move. Murray has always been a tough shot maker. That's a huge part of why he became a playoff icon in Denver. But this season, he's not just hitting the tough ones. He's actually getting easier looks off the dribble too. He's shooting a career-high 53.3% on two-pointers and 49.1% on pull-up twos, another personal best. And Pata's ball's breakdown of creation play types, isolations, pick and rolls, post-ups, he's rocking a career-high 59.6% true shooting, 7 points above league average. That's easily the strongest mark of his career, and he's doing it while carrying the biggest on-ball workload he's ever had, 14.66 creation true shooting attempts per 100 possessions, ranking 9th in the entire league. His handle has always been a weapon, letting him glide, hop, and twist into dangerous zones. But now he's pairing it with a sharper pull-up package and a more explosive driving game. Defenders are already struggling to stay with him through the pivots, spins, hesitations, and sudden stop and pop jumpers. He's averaging 11.3 drives per game, by far the most on the Nuggets, with Nikola Jokic at just 3.3 behind him. And even though Denver doesn't isolate often, Murray still ranks in the 91st percentile in efficiency when he does. Every bit of that takes weight off Jokic's shoulders, giving him breathing room that Denver hasn't always had. If Murray keeps this up, carrying his share of the load and giving Denver another elite creator, he'll reshape the way every team in the league has to approach Denver's two-man problem. And that problem doesn't fully hit until you see what's happening on the other side of the partnership. You passed Will Chamberlain tonight, most triple-doubles by a center. Congrats on that one too.
Thank you.
You're very shy in that. Is it Shaq in that list?
No, because I never pass big, honey. Nikola Jokic is opening this season with what might be the strongest start of his entire career. He already has 3 MVPs and 2 runner-up finishes in the last 5 years. So the idea that he might be leveling up in 2025 to 26 is something nobody should take lightly. We've seen Jokic drop massive triple-doubles like warm-ups. We've seen him average a triple-double for an entire season. And we've seen him lead his team in points, rebounds, and assists during a playoff run. Basically, checking every wild statistical box a player can check. But what he's doing this year isn't some dramatic reinvention. This is Jokic entering a refinement era, a subtle but scary evolution. It's cleaner decision-making under pressure, more efficient use of his size and strength, fewer emotional slip-ups, and a level of consistency that feels almost surgical. He's not trying to reinvent who he is. He's sharpening what already made him unstoppable. And that's what makes this version of him even tougher for defenses to decode. It's the same Jokic, just cleaner, sharper, and somehow even more intimidating this season. I know how great he is. I know how great Joker is. Certain guys in this league that play the game a certain way that I like to play the game as well, and he's one of them, where you are always off balance when you guard a player like that because his ability to score, rebound, shoot, he sees plays before they happen. There's not many guys in our league like that. He's putting up 29.6 points, 12.6 rebounds, and 11 assists, leading the league in both boards and assists while shooting an unreal 70% on twos and 44% from 3. And he already has triple-doubles in more than half of his games, all while keeping Denver near the top of the West like it's routine. What makes this run even crazier is that Jokic has never led the league in a major counting stat for a full season. Yet right now, he's sitting at the top of both the rebounding and assist leaderboards, putting him on the brink of something the NBA has literally never seen. No player has ever finished a season leading the league in rebounds and assists in different years, much less doing them at the same time. But that's exactly what Jokic is currently on pace to pull off. He came close before, second in assists and third in rebounds in 2024 to 25, and second in rebounds and third in assists in 2022 to 23. But this season, he's pushing into territory that only legends ever even brushed against. The last player who flirted with this kind of statistical crossover was Will Chamberlain in 1967 to 68, when he won the rebounding title but finished second in assists per game. Wilt actually led the league in total assists because he played all 82 games, but Oscar Robertson had the higher per game. Even with that historical context, what Jokic is doing right now stands alone. The blend of efficiency, control, and volume is something no center has ever delivered. Heading into the Thanksgiving break, Denver had dropped 2 home games, but on the road, they looked ice cold and confident, grabbing their 6th straight win with a 125-115 victory over Memphis. Jamal Murray put up 29 points and 8 assists, while Nikola Jokic delivered his 10th triple-double, 17 points, 16 assists, and 10 rebounds, even though Memphis built their whole scheme around slowing him down. With Aaron Gordon and Christian Braun out, Murray took on a heavier offensive load.
Denver even switched their usual rotation, using Cam Johnson to anchor the bench unit that coach David Alderman trusted for a longer stretch. Early in the fourth, Murray returned to his staggered minutes and flipped the entire energy. He opened with a deep off-balance three, then attacked Memphis traps with sharper reads and faster decisions, something Alderman praised afterward. He followed that up with 2 slick assists to stretch the lead to 13, including a clean behind-the-back pass to Zeke Naji for a 3. Memphis answered with a 10-0 run while Murray rested, but once he came back, he shut it down with 2 clutch threes that pushed the lead back to 9. Murray finished with 29 points, 8 assists, and 6 threes, barely turning the ball over. A smooth, composed performance. And even on a quieter scoring night, Jokic still stunned the crowd with classic creativity. Inside the final minute, he spun away from Cam Spencer's swipe and fired a behind-the-back bounce pass with his offhand to Peyton Watson for the game-sealing layup. Seconds later, he hit Murray for a slam that sealed everything. When the game tightens, Jokic and Murray don't just stay calm, they take over. As Coach Alderman said, we always trust those two in the clutch. And the numbers back it up. Every win, every run, every closeout moment, it all starts with Jokic and Murray. They drive the best offense in the league at 123.9 points per 100 possessions, while the defense sits 15th, still in the upper half of the NBA, and less than 1.5 points from cracking the top 10 factorial. And that defensive ranking is likely to climb fast once 2 of their best defenders, Braun and Gordon, return to full health. The NBA doesn't just have a Jokic problem or a Murray problem. They've got a chemistry problem, a consistency problem, a championship-level problem. Because when these 2 stars are healthy, connected, and blocking out all the outside noise, the Nuggets aren't just contenders, they're the standard. There's no scheme for trust, no defensive plan that cancels out chemistry. And that's the Jokic and Murray difference. What do you think about this crazy stretch from Jokic and Murray? Does this version of Denver feel unstoppable to you, or do you see cracks other teams can exploit? And which moments stood out to you the most from this run? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I genuinely want to hear your take, and I'm thankful for every opinion shared. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the breakdown, hit like, share it around, and subscribe to Ball Stories to keep riding with us. There's plenty more heat waiting for you on the channel, so check out another video and keep the story rolling. All right, I'm out.